Now we're going to create a slab that's a bit more complicated than just a square. So if I make sure my slab tool is selected by left mouse clicking on it, I make sure I've got the polygon method, input method selected, and make sure my tracker is on so I can see what's happening. And as I move to the floor plan area, if I left mouse click to start my slab, the intelligent cursors from a crosshair to a dark black pencil, and as I move it away from that original node, it becomes a white pencil with, and when I'm actually lining up with a smart guide or another node, it comes up with a pencil with a black line through it. So I can just use the smart cursor, which as soon as I start drawing, the smart cursor is trying to anticipate what you're trying to do, and I can move that to the right. But if I hold the shift key down, it will constrain it. Doesn't matter where I move my mouse. While I've got my finger on the shift key, it's going to constrain it to that plane. Or if I let the shift key go, I can constrain again to any other plane that I like, as long as I've got my shift key. Even if I want to do it on a 45 or a 30 degree guide. So if I push the shift key once again, now it's constrained to that angle. So if I want to keep it constrained to that angle, I hold the shift key down and push R momentarily and let both keys go. Once I've done that, I've pressed R and I've let go of both buttons. It doesn't matter what I do with my mouse now, it won't move. So I just type in the distance of 5 meters, and as I push enter, it frees the mouse up again. So now I'm free to place the next node. So I'm going to move my mouse down this direction, hold the shift key, press R. Once again, my mouse can move anywhere I like freely, and it's not going to affect the slab that I'm about to create. I type in 5 meters, enter, and now I've got that node pinned. Now I might use a combination of a few different techniques to draw this Swiss cross that I like to draw. This Swiss cross is a good exercise for you to try on your own, because it makes you move your mouse in all directions, positive, minus, horizontally and vertically. So now as I move out to the right here, I'm not going to touch any keys other than type the actual distance that I want it to go, because I'm actually using the smart guides to guide where it's going. It's a very quick method. As I move the mouse button down this way, I'm waiting for the smart guide. Once smart guide's there, I can just type in 5 meters again, enter. Now when I push the wheel down on the mouse, we can pan around a project. So it's a good idea having a 3-button mouse with a wheel on it, so we can zoom and pan with that wheel. So we can see the effect of that. So now there's the panning effect by pushing the wheel down. If I let the wheel go, I can go back into the editing function. Now as I move the mouse over to the plane where the top part of the Swiss cross is evident, we can see that the smart guide's there, and I'm going to line up to the smart guide here. As soon as that right angle comes up, I'm just going to click on the right angle where that right angle symbol's coming up and lining up with that smart guide. So I left mouse click on there, and as I go down the page, I'm going to use another technique here. Make sure the pencil's black, so I've taken the mouse back up to that node, and I'm going to type in Y, 5 meters, minus, and then enter. As I go along to the left, I can just type in 5 meters again, or I can hold the shift key down, constrain it to that plane, and while I'm still holding the shift key down, take my cursor up to this node up here. There's a hammer there at the moment that says I can close that polygon if I wanted to. I have to click twice to do that, so I'm just going to click once. While that cursor is black, or the hammer's there, I click once, and then it's lined that node up with that node up there, as the smart guides are showing anyway. Next, I'm going to do the same technique going up the page. So I'm going to hold the shift key. Once again, I'm constrained, and I take my cursor over to this node here. The pencil's black, and I left mouse click once, and then I move my cursor to the left. Now I'm just going to type 5 meters without touching anything with my left hand. Then to go up the page, we type in Y, 5 meters, plus, and then enter. Then the smart guides are coming up, so we're going to use the smart guides and click around all those intersections and use the assistance that the smart guides are giving us. So to finish off the Swiss cross. Now the Swiss cross has been done, we've used a couple of different techniques to complete it, and it's probably a good idea to master all those techniques because you'll probably need them at some stage when you're using ArchiCAD.